As Hurricane Milton ripped through Florida, Fort Pierce not only experienced heavy rain and wind, but also 3 significant sewage spills. When the hurricane knocked out power there, the Fort Pierce Utilities Authority says that 2 water lift stations failed, triggering overflows at 12th Street and Avenue O, Carlton Street and 21st Street at Avenue M. Those overflows sent over 60,000 gallons of raw sewage out into the streets. That is enough to fill about 1,200 bathtubs. And many residents say they were not aware of what had happened.
That's terrible. That's unacceptable. Should not have happened. And then they should let us know so we don't try to drink the water. I didn't have any idea till just now.
I mean, I would have never known about the spillage if it wasn't for you guys.
The Fort Pierce Utilities Authority is monitoring the spills, making sure that the immediate environmental impact is minimized and that ongoing monitoring is conducted to prevent further issues.
Indian River County officials are giving an update on storm recovery efforts. They say there are still people without power, but crews are working on it. They also share just how many homes were damaged and the price tag that comes with fixing them. Officials estimate about $59 million in damages, more than 50 homes destroyed, 90 more sustained significant damage, and an additional 450 suffered lesser damage. But officials note there were no serious injuries to anyone.
Nature can come, or any force can come and destroy infrastructure. And we all saw how quickly that can happen. But that intangible infrastructure, that sense of community, that got only stronger.
We are servants of the people, and in a time of need is when we get into play. Okay, and that's what we're trying to do.
To expedite repairs, the county will be waiving permitting fees. If this applies to you, call the county's post-storm resources line for assistance. That number is on your screen right now. We also learned the county's United Way is helping with tarps for people who lost their roofs and with emergency funding. Go to CBS12.com to find out more.
By now, thousands of Floridians whose homes were damaged in this storm are contacting their insurance company to file a claim. But some homeowners say that they are in a tug of war over what is really going to be covered. Tony Brazow, who lives at the Pine Trace at Banks Forest in Wellington, is in the middle of that fight with his insurance right now. His home experienced significant damage to its roof from the tornado. He says his insurance is trying to decide what the damage should classify as, so he doesn't yet know what he'll be responsible for. We asked Phil Wardell with Access Insurance.
The question is how the policy is written. So most of them are not like named storm. It's gonna be covered one way or another. You know, it's just a question of, is it the deductible of the all other perils deductible, or is it going to be the windstorm deductible? That's pretty much what people are probably, wondering.
According to that insurance expert, if you had a $1,000 all other perils deductible, then you would pay that. But if you have a wind deductible, you may pay anywhere from 2 to 10% of what your policy is worth. Check your policy to find out.
In just a matter of days, people across the state will be able to cast their vote in person for the general election.
Early voting starts on Monday, and Governor Ron DeSantis has signed a new executive order that could make it easier for people to vote in counties that were hit by Hurricane Milton and Hurricane Helene.
Our Danny Travis is joining us live with the details on that. Danny?
Yeah, Matt and Danielle, well, the governor's executive order makes accommodations for people in 11 counties affected by both Helene and Milton. Now, we spoke with 2 supervisor of elections on the Treasure Coast, both applauding this move. Now, supervisor of elections sent out letters to Florida's Secretary of State. The letter says the hurricanes and tornadoes could make it tough for people in the hardest hit areas to cast their votes in November. St. Lucie County and Indian River County are included in the governor's order. It lets local leaders change or consolidate early voting and election day polling places.
If they didn't get their ballots because their mailboxes could have been blown away, so now it gives accommodations where they can be sent to an alternate address without having all the documentation that they used to have.
I think they're good measures that are not just good for the supervisor, but they're good for the voter.
The changes also gives voters more flexibility to request mail-in ballots, letting people request ballots be sent to a different location other than the address on file. It'll also let the impacted counties request poll workers from other counties. Now, there are just 18 days to go until the election. Again, mail-in voting already underway here in Florida, but early voting does start Monday, like we've said. You can check for polling locations on your county supervisor of elections website. Matt, Danielle.